You arrived late, and at the same time, you arrived exactly at the right moment. This video shouldn't be available anymore, but if you're seeing this now, it's because something bigger is happening. These three numbers, these three simple numbers I'm about to reveal, changed lives when all seemed lost. In Auschwitz, in the starvation bunker, as Kolbe's body wasted away day after day, he whispered something the other prisoners didn't understand. It wasn't just a prayer. It was a code. A code that crossed decades in silence. Prisoner 16670, Saint Maximilian Kolbe, wasn't just a martyr. He held a secret that few Franciscans know, a secret that, today, reaches you. I wonder if you're ready for this, because not just anyone finds this message. Have you ever felt that agonizing feeling that everything is falling apart? That feeling that nothing works anymore? Doctors can't fix it. Common prayers seem to fall on deaf ears. Doors slam shut one after another. I know. I understand that pain, that tightness in your chest, that feeling of abandonment. Kolbe felt it too. In the cold, in the hunger, in the dark. But he discovered something. Something so simple and at the same time so powerful that many found it impossible. Until they saw it with their own eyes. Take a deep breath. What I'm about to tell you isn't in the official books about Saint Maximilian. It's not in the Vatican documents about his canonization. It's kept in an oral tradition passed from friar to friar, from devotee to devotee. Kolbe said, "Love is the only creative force." But he also taught that certain numbers, when written with faith, with devotion to the Immaculate Conception, become portals. Yes, portals to concrete miracles. And I'm not talking about superstition. I'm talking about a practice deeply rooted in the Marian devotion that Kolbe cultivated with superhuman intensity. He founded the militia of the Immaculate. He always carried the miraculous medal, and he taught that consecration to the Immaculate Conception was the most powerful exorcism against all evil. But there was something more, something he only revealed to those on the brink of despair. When all seems lost, he said, it's time to light the candle of faith. And that candle for Kolbe was three specific numbers, and that when written by hand, created an immediate connection with Mary's powerful intercession. But before revealing these numbers, I need you to understand the power behind them. It's not magic, it's not superstition, it's a channel of faith. Mary appeared to Kolbe when he was a child. She offered him two crowns, a white one of purity, a red one of martyrdom. He chose both, and he fulfilled it. His connection with the Immaculate Conception was so profound that he could perceive signs where others saw only coincidences. In Nagasaki, Kolbe built a monastery that miraculously survived the atomic bomb. Everyone asked, how? Why? The answer lies in the same principle behind these three numbers I'm about to reveal. He chose that specific location against technical advice, through mystical inspiration, through knowledge that came from elsewhere, from the same source where these three numbers come from. I want you to stop for a moment and reflect. How much time have you already spent seeking solutions that didn't come? How many novenas? How many promises? How many medicines? How many failed attempts? Now imagine if there's a more direct path, an open channel, a method that Kolbe used in the most desperate cases. In Auschwitz, a man was on the brink of death. Gajowniczek, the man for whom Kolbe gave his life, wasn't the only one Kolbe saved there. There were others, silently. Through these three numbers, a young prisoner, feverish, delirious with hunger and thirst, Kolbe held his trembling hand and wrote three numbers on it. The boy inexplicably survived, and not only survived, he thrived. The guards didn't understand how, amidst so much death, that boy emanated a mysterious strength. Whether Immaculate is, evil cannot remain. This phrase by Kolbe explains the power of these numbers when written by hand. But I need to warn you, not just anyone should use this method. It's not for the curious. It's not for skeptics. It's for those who really need a miracle now. It's for those who have tried everything and feel they are facing the impossible, like that mother in Mexico in 2018, her son in a coma after a serious accident. The doctors had given up. The hospital chaplain knew this tradition of Kolbe's. He whispered to her, "Write these 3 numbers on your son's hand." She did it with trembling hands, tears in her eyes, faith in her heart. 3 hours later, exactly 3 hours, the boy opened his eyes. Coincidence? Perhaps for some. But for those who know the power of the Immaculate through Kolbe, it's just another testimony. Or that man in Poland losing everything, job, house, health. A Franciscan visited his humble home and saw the despair in his eyes. He taught him the 3 numbers. He told him, "Write them on your hand in the morning before the sun rises." He did it for 9 consecutive days. On the 9th day, a letter arrived, an unexpected opportunity, a door that opened where there were only walls before. Now, finally, I'm going to reveal these 3 numbers. But I want you to understand, it's not the mechanical act of writing that makes the miracle happen. It's the connection that is established. It's the channel that opens with the Immaculate Conception, to whom Kolbe consecrated his entire life. The 3 numbers are 729. Simple, isn't it? Maybe you expected something more complex. But true spirituality is like that, profound in essence, simple in form. But why these numbers? What do they mean? The 7 represents divine perfection. The 7 gifts of the Holy Spirit. The 7 sorrows of Mary. It is the number of spiritual completeness. The 2 represents resolved duality, heaven and earth, divine and human, reconciliation. It also represents Mary as the second Eve, the one who undoes the knot of sin. And the 9? The 9 is the number of angelic choirs, of heavenly hierarchies. It is also the 9 months that Mary carried Jesus in her womb. It is the number of divine gestation, of the miracle being formed in the invisible before manifesting. Together, 7 to 2-9, they form a spiritual activation code that Kolbe discovered in his long hours of prayer and contemplation. But it's not enough to just write these numbers. You need to follow the exact method that Kolbe taught, the lost ritual that I now reveal to you. First, you must write these numbers with your right hand, even if you are left-handed. Why? Because Kolbe said that the right hand is the hand of action, of divine doing. It's the hand with which one blesses, with which one traces the sign of the cross. And where exactly to write? On the palm of your left hand, the side of the heart, the receptive side. Kolbe explained that the left hand receives grace while the right hand executes the divine will. A perfect balance like Mary and Jesus. Receptivity and action. The numbers should be written vertically, not horizontally. 7, then 2, then 9. Like a stream flowing down from heaven to earth, like grace descends upon us. And you must use blue ink, not red, not black, blue. The color of Mary, the color of the Immaculate Conception's mantle. If you don't have a blue pen, use any instrument you have, even your finger. But visualize the blue color as you write. The time is crucial. Kolbe performed his most intense prayers at 3 in the morning or 3 in the afternoon, the hour of mercy, the hour when the veil between worlds thins, as he used to say. Write the numbers during one of these hours. And then, the most important part, after writing the last number, the 9, you must press your hand against your chest, over your heart, and recite 3 times the short prayer Kolbe whispered in the starvation bunker. O Mary, conceived without sin, pray for us who have recourse to thee, but don't repeat it like a robot. Say it like someone offering their last breath of hope, like someone placing their complete trust, like someone already seeing the miracle happening, even before it manifests. Then close your eyes for 33 seconds. Exactly 33, the years of Christ on earth. Keep your hand on your heart and simply breathe. Don't ask for anything specific at this moment. Just be present. Just allow yourself to feel the presence of the Immaculate Conception. That's the complete ritual. Simple, isn't it? But profoundly powerful when done with true faith. Kolbe said that where the Immaculate Conception is, evil cannot remain. These numbers, written in this way, create a point of contact with her, a direct channel, an open line. It's as if you're saying, I'm here, I need you, I trust you, and it's not necessary to repeat the ritual for days and days. Once is enough when done with total surrender. However, if you feel the need, you can repeat it for 3 consecutive days, always at the same time. Now, let me tell you what happened to Teresa, a woman from New York. She had a suspicious lump in her breast. The doctors scheduled a biopsy, but fear consumed her. A friend, a devotee of Saint Maximilian, taught her this 3-number ritual. Teresa, skeptical at first, thought, what harm could it do? She wrote the numbers as instructed. She said the prayer. She waited the 33 seconds the next day before the biopsy. The doctor decided to do another ultrasound. He looked at the screen. Confused, he called another doctor. Teresa felt her heart race. Something was wrong. We didn't find anything, the doctor finally said. The lump. It's simply not there anymore. Coincidence? Maybe. Previous medical error? Possible. But for Teresa, it was a miracle that came through Kolbe's 3 numbers, or John, a desperate father. His son was addicted to drugs for years, failed rehabilitation attempts, prayers seemingly unanswered, until a Franciscan friar told him about the 3-number ritual. John wrote the numbers on his own hand. He didn't pray for his son. He simply surrendered to the ritual, trusting. 3 days later, his son knocked on the door, crying, asking for help. For the first time, genuinely wanting to change. And the most impressive story, Father Michael. From a small parish in California, the church was literally falling apart. No resources, no help. The diocese was about to close it. He discovered Kolbe's 3-number ritual through a rare book on Marian devotions. He performed the ritual not for himself, but for the entire community. The next morning, an unknown man visited the parish. He asked about the history of the place. 2 weeks later, he returned with a team of builders and a donation that not only saved the church, but transformed it into a Marian sanctuary that now attracts pilgrims. This man, it turned out later, was a devotee of Our Lady and had dreamed for 3 consecutive nights about a church that needed help. And in the dreams, he saw the numbers 7, 2, and 9. Kolbe understood something profound, that certain numbers, certain sequences, certain simple actions can open spiritual doors when done with the right intention and an open heart. Remember, in the starvation bunker, Kolbe transformed suffering into prayer. In absolute despair, he found the strength to lead hymns. In certain death, he found the peace to willingly surrender himself in place of another. This is the power behind these 3 numbers. It's not the number itself. It's the same force that allowed Kolbe to transcend the unimaginable. Do you know what's impressive? When Kolbe was injected with phenol to end his execution, after 14 days without food or water, he didn't scream in pain. He extended his left arm, the arm of the heart, and witnesses say that, in his final moments, he traced something on his palm. Numbers that no one could see clearly, but they were there. Now you know what they were. Let me be direct. This is not a ritual for any trivial situation. It's not for winning the lottery. It's not for getting a promotion at work. It's for when you really face the impossible. When doctors give up, when all doors close, when darkness seems total, as it was for Kolbe in the starvation bunker, as it was for Mary at the foot of the cross. It is in these moments that the three numbers, 7, 2, 9, reveal their true power. And now you need to make a decision. This knowledge has reached you for a reason, not by chance. If you are watching this video to this point, it's because you were chosen to receive it. You can simply ignore it, think it's just another piece of content among many. Or you can recognize that there is a calling here, a calling to deep faith, to a true connection. Kolbe said, "Let yourself be guided by the Immaculate Conception." This is the invitation I make to you now. Let yourself be guided. Allow Mary, through these three numbers, to open a path where there seems to be no way out. Write 7-2-9 on your left hand. Feel the power of this connection. Open yourself to the impossible becoming possible, and then share. How? In the comments below. Leave only the number 729, nothing else, just 729. This will signal that you received this message, that you are on the spiritual transmission line that began with Kolbe and continues to this day. Each 729 in the comments is like a candle being lit, a silent declaration of faith, an expansion of this invisible network of grace that Kolbe started. You are not alone in your struggle. You are not alone in your pain. The Immaculate Conception is present. The three numbers are just the door. Love is the key. Now I will reveal a last secret. There is a variation of this ritual for extreme cases, life or death cases, situations where literally everything is lost. Kolbe rarely shared this version, but in Auschwitz, for the most desperate cases, he revealed it. Instead of writing the numbers on your hand, you write them on a small piece of paper, fold the paper 3 times, place it beneath a white candle, representing the purity of Mary. Light the candle precisely at midnight, and as the candle burns, you recite the Memorare, the prayer that begins with, "Remember, O most gracious Virgin Mary." Once the candle has completely burned away, take the ashes of the paper, which will have also burned to ash, and trace a small cross on your forehead with them. Then sleep with your right hand over your heart. Kolbe assured that before dawn, a sign would be given, a dream, a thought upon waking, a coincidence beyond explanation, a clear direction on the next step to take. This variation is too powerful for regular use. Reserve it for when truly everything else has failed. The power of the three numbers, 729, lies not in superstition. It resides in faith, in surrender, in the connection with the one Kolbe called Niepokalana, the Immaculate Conception. A cry of pain can also be a hymn of glory, Kolbe said. His cries, his unanswered prayers, his silent despairs. All of this can transform into glory when channeled through true faith. Write down the numbers, perform the ritual, open the channel. Allow the impossible to happen, just as Kolbe allowed in the inferno of Auschwitz, just as Mary allowed at the Annunciation, when she said, "Let it be done unto me according to thy word." The miracle is already on its way. The three numbers are only the beginning. The miracle is already on its way. The three numbers are only the beginning, and if you want to continue receiving these spiritual revelations known to few, these secrets kept for decades, now being revealed, don't forget to subscribe right now to the channel. Click the subscribe button and activate the bell to be notified whenever we share more of this profound knowledge. Each week, we reveal a new secret, a new prayer, a new ritual that saints like Maximilian Kolbe used, and which were forgotten over time. These are spiritual treasures that belong to you, you who were chosen to find them. Subscribe now. It's the first step to entering this circle of protection and miracles that we are forming. As Kolbe said, our mission is to conquer the entire world for Mary, and that begins with you. Today, writing these 3 numbers on your hand and joining our community of the faithful. Subscribe, share this video with someone who needs a miracle, and leave the number 729 in the comments as your testimony of faith. Do this now. Don't put it off. The moment is this.